Have you ever stopped to think about how certain months hold a special place in automotive history? Well, March is one of those months. Some of the most legendary muscle cars ever made were first introduced in March, forever changing the muscle car game. Here are some muscle cars that debuted in the month of March. Wait, before we proceed, comment some of the cars you think debuted in the month of March in the comment section. The last car on the list will give you shockwaves. Are you ready? Let's go. 1964 Pontiac GTO. When it comes to legendary muscle cars, the 1964 Pontiac GTO stands tall as one of the undisputed icons of the genre. This beast of a machine burst onto the scene in March of 1964, forever changing the landscape of the automotive world. Which is why it is at the top of our list today, but then, what are your thoughts about this car? At the heart of the GTO's raw power was its potent 389 cubic inch V8 engine, which could churn out a staggering 325 horsepower. Paired with a lightweight body and a beefed-up suspension, this combination transformed the Pontiac Tempest into a high-performance machine that could leave its competitors in the dust. One of the most distinctive features of the 1964 GTO was its aggressive, muscular styling. The long, low hood, swept-back roofline, and distinctive dual-hood scoops gave the car a menacing, predatory appearance that was impossible to ignore. This bold, unapologetic design was a clear statement of intent. The GTO was here to dominate the road. Do you have personal experience with this car? What are they? Let's have it in the comments section. But the GTO's impact went far beyond its impressive performance and head-turning looks. It also played a crucial role in the rise of the muscle car era, helping to ignite a nationwide fascination with high-powered, affordable performance vehicles. The GTO's success paved the way for a flood of similar offerings from other manufacturers, each aimed at capturing the hearts and wallets of a new generation of speed-hungry enthusiasts. Today, the 1964 Pontiac GTO is revered as a true automotive icon, a testament to the enduring power of American engineering and the boundless creativity of the human spirit. Its impact on the muscle car landscape is undeniable, and its legacy continues to inspire car enthusiasts around the world. The next car on the list might be the least expected. Take a guess in the comments section. 1970 Plymouth Hemi Cuda. All right, time to talk about another legendary muscle car that burst onto the scene in March, the 1970 Plymouth Hemi Cuda. Now, I know what you're thinking. How can you top the raw, unadulterated power of the 64 GTO? Well, my friend, the Hemi Cuda is here to show you how it's done. This thing is straight up ridiculous. Under the hood, you've got a monstrous 426 cubic inch Hemi 5.8 engine pumping out a jaw-dropping 425 horsepower. I mean, that's enough to send chills down the spine of even the most seasoned gearhead. Pair that with a sleek aerodynamic body, and you've got a recipe for pure, unbridled speed. We have muscle cars that debuted in January and February, but March seems like a fire for me so far. What do you think? But the Hemi Cuda isn't just about brute force, it's got style for days too. I'm talking about that iconic, aggressive front end, the muscular fenders, and those unmistakable Cuda badges that let everyone on the road know you mean business. This car is the automotive equivalent of a heavyweight boxer. It's got the looks to match the knockout punch. And let's not forget the impact this thing had on the muscle car scene. When the Hemi Cuda hit the streets in March 1970, it was like a shockwave rippling through the industry. Suddenly, everyone was scrambling to build their own high-powered, high-style monsters, all trying to keep up with Plymouth's latest and greatest. The Hemi Cuda set a new standard for what a muscle car could be, and it's a legacy that lives on to this day. So if you're ever lucky enough to get behind the wheel of one of these bad boys, hold on tight and get ready for the ride of your life. Because when it comes to muscle cars that debuted in March, the Hemi Cuda is a true heavyweight champion. Ford Mustang Boss 429. All right, listen up, gearheads. We're about to talk about a muscle car that's so legendary, it'll make your head spin. I'm talking about the 1969 Ford Mustang Boss 429, and trust me, this thing is no joke. One thing about Boss 429 is the absolute power it has under the hood. Yeah, I know some of you are not a fan of this particular car, but what other muscle car do you want to replace the Boss 429 with? Now, when Ford dropped this beast in March of '69, they were basically saying, all right, everyone else, time to pack it up and go home. Under the hood, you've got a massive 429 cubic inch V8 that's pumping out a ridiculous 375 horsepower and 460 pound-feet of torque. I mean, this thing is like a raging bull. You point it at the road, and it's gonna charge forward with everything it's got. But the Boss 429 isn't just about pure, unadulterated power, my friends. Nah, this car's got style for days, too. I mean, it's in the name Boss. I'm talking about that sleek fastback silhouette, the aggressive front end, and those iconic Boss 429 badges that let everyone know you mean business. This is a muscle car that's as easy on the eyes as it is on the ears when you stomp on the gas. And let's not forget about the exclusivity factor either. Ford only built around 850 of these bad boys, which makes them about as rare as a unicorn these days. These things were so tough to produce that the company had to practically rebuild the entire Mustang production line just to fit that massive 429 engine. Talk about dedication, am I right? So, if you ever come across a pristine Boss 429 in the wild, you better believe you're in for a treat. This is a muscle car that's not just a legend. It's a straight-up automotive icon, a testament to the kind of engineering prowess that only the Ford gurus could pull off. Trust me, when you get behind the wheel of one of these babies, you're gonna feel like you're driving a piece of history. 2000 Ford SVT Mustang Cobra R. All right. I know we've been talking about some serious old-school muscle cars, but let me tell you about a more modern legend that debuted in March. The 2000 Ford SVT Mustang Cobra R. Do you think this car should be on the list? What are your thoughts? Now, I know what you're thinking. A 2000 model? That's not a muscle car, that's just a sports car. Well, my friend, you couldn't be more wrong. This Cobra R is packing enough muscle under the hood to put some of those classic 60s and 70s beasts to shame. Let's start with the engine, shall we? Ford stuffed a monster 5.4-liter V8 into this thing, and it's churning out a jaw-dropping 385 horsepower. I mean, that's enough to make even the most seasoned driver's head spin. And the best part? It's got a 6-speed manual transmission, so you can really get in there and work the gears to unleash all that raw power. But it's not just about the engine, folks. This Cobra R is a work of art, both inside and out. That aggressive aerodynamic body was designed to slice through the air like a hot knife through butter, and those huge 18-inch wheels and Brembo brakes mean you can corner like a race car and stop on a dime. It's the kind of machine that'll make you feel like a professional driver, even if you're just out for a Sunday cruise. And let's not forget about the exclusivity factor, because Ford only built 300 of these bad boys back in 2000. That means if you ever spot one on the road, you're looking at a true unicorn, a muscle car that's as rare as it is ferocious. These things are like collector's items these days, and if you're lucky enough to get your hands on one, you better believe you're the envy of every gearhead in town. So, if you ever find yourself behind the wheel of a 2000 Ford SVT Mustang Cobra R, just remember, this ain't your average sports car. This is a muscle car that's been supercharged for the 21st century, and it's ready to show the world what it's made of. Strap in, hold on tight, and get ready for one hell of a ride. 2015 Dodge Challenger SRT Hellcat. Alright, listen up, my fellow speed demons, because I'm about to tell you the wild story of one of the craziest muscle cars to ever hit the streets, the 2015 Dodge Challenger SRT Hellcat. Now, I know what you're thinking, the Hellcat? That's so 2015, dude. But trust me, the behind-the-scenes drama that went down when this beast debuted in March of that year is anything but old news. Let me paint the picture for you, okay? Imagine it's the early spring, and the automotive world is buzzing with anticipation, right? Dodge has been teasing this new Challenger for what feels like forever, hinting at some insane performance numbers. And then, bam! They dropped the mother of all bombs, a supercharged 6.2-liter Hemi V8 that's pushing out a mind-blowing 707 horsepower. I mean, come on, that's more power than some of the top-shelf supercars out there. The internet practically melted down with car enthusiasts losing their collective minds. But Dodge wasn't just content to drop this mic drop of an engine and call it a day. Oh no. These guys wanted to make sure this Hellcat could back up its beastly performance, so they put it through the ringer with some intense testing, both on the track and out on the open road. I can just picture the poor engineers behind the wheel, white-knuckling it as they tried to tame all that raw, unbridled power. It must have been like trying to ride a freaking wild stallion. Exhilarating, but also a little bit terrifying, am I right? And the pre-orders? Forget about it. They were off the charts, my friends. As soon as Dodge opened the books, car fanatics from all over the country were lining up to get their hands on one of these demonic muscle cars. I mean, who in their right mind wouldn't want to be the first on their block to have a Challenger that can give some of the top-shelf supercars a serious run for their money? What do you think about these March debuts? Let's have your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you for staying through till the end.